This is an RNZ podcast.
Nā mihi o te wā, kia koutou katoa, I'm Zion. The Golden Glow shows no signs of fading for New Zealand at the Commonwealth Games. We've scored some thrilling gold medals this week, including a nail-biting squash final and New Zealand's first medal of any type in men's high jump. The medal haul is particularly high in swimming and biking, with other wins in weightlifting, pole vault and judo. With the closing ceremony for the Commonwealth Games just 3 days away, New Zealand sits fourth on the medal table behind Aussie, England and Canada. Athletes from more than 70 countries with historic ties to the United Kingdom compete every 4 years in a different Commonwealth city. Now the New Zealand team has 16 gold medals so far, and I reckon in the next few days that will only go up. Moving on, the Sky Tower celebrated its 25th birthday this week. The Auckland landmark remains the tallest building in the Southern Hemisphere. It took 2 years and 9 months to build and opened in 1997. It's a cool, wait for it, 328 metres high, similar to the Eiffel Tower in Paris, but still 500 metres shorter than the world's tallest building in Dubai, the Burj Khalifa. I've jumped off the Sky Tower, trust me, it's high. Medical staff are angry the government is not doing enough to train more nurses. There is an estimated shortage of 3,000 nurses, which is putting more pressure on staff who are dealing with more patients than usual. The Health Minister announced this week funding would help overseas nurses to come here, and a storyline on TV show Shortland Street will be a part of the campaign to attract more young New Zealanders into nursing careers. But the main nurses union says paying for nurse training would be the best way to tempt more people into the profession. New Zealand's MPs are being warned against using social media platform TikTok on their work devices, and were told their data could be accessed by the Chinese government. It was communicated the app posed a security risk after reports that personal information was being harvested and shared by the company. TikTok has an estimated 1.5 million users in New Zealand. Still in China, tensions have been high this week after a prominent American politician visited Taiwan. The island is self-ruled, but the government in Beijing sees it as a breakaway province and will want to eventually unite with it. US Speaker Nancy Pelosi met the Taiwanese president in a demonstration of support that was strongly condemned by China. More than 20 Chinese military planes entered Taiwanese airspace on Tuesday, and live-fire military drills in the air and sea around the island were announced. An Australian believes he may have skated the world's steepest street in record time. Baldwin Street in Dunedin gained its Guinness Book of World Records title as the steepest road in 2020. Zach Mills-Goodwin, who will compete in the World Skate Games later this year, took 5 or 6 seconds, oh goodness me, to skate down. He estimates he reached speeds of 80 kilometres an hour and said it felt like he was flying. It's the 35th anniversary of Te Reo Māori becoming an official language in Aotearoa. It's also Epitoma o Te Reo Māori Kuki Airani, or Cook Islands Language Week. So this week's Explainer looks at why it's important and respectful to get the pronunciation of someone's name or a place name correct.
Have you ever thought about the meanings behind Māori place names? Well, my friends, let's explore. Why pronouncing Māori place names correctly is so important.
We have so many beautiful Māori names in Aotearoa. Whangārei, Rotorua, Taupo.
And we even have Māori place names for those that we refer to using their English names.
Tāmaki Makaurau, Te Whanganui Ātara, or Te Papa I Oea. Ooh, that's a good one.
Names are an important part of identity, and Māori place names carry rich history with them. Let's take a look at one.
Right in the middle of Te Ika o Maui, the great fish of Maui, you will find Taupo. A great chief named Tia arrived on the Arawa Waka, and as he was exploring the eastern coast, he spotted a cliff face that looked similar to the taupo, or cloak, that he was wearing. And so he named the area Taupo Nui Ātia, or the Great Garment of Tia.
When you use the correct pronunciation of a name, it shows respect to the significance of that name and of the history of its people.
And I have some great news, e hoa mā. It is not difficult to get pronunciations right. Woo!
Here's some tips for pronunciation of Māori names from across the nation.
H-k-m-n-p-r-t.
Yeah, h-k-m-n-p-r-t. Woo!
W-ng-f.
W-ng-f. Oh yeah.
A-e-i-o-u.
A-e-i-o-u. Yeah.
Carefully read each Māori name and you'll find the letters all sound the same.
T-a-u-p-o-t-o Taupo, taupo. Yo!
It can take a little bit of practice, but once you get it, you'll be able to read any kupu Māori with ease.
Even the world's longest place name.
Taumata whakatangihanga ko au au o tamatea turipu ka piki maunga horonuku pōkai whenua ki tana tahu.
That's the news from me. I'm Bonnie Harrison, and this episode was made by TVNZ and RNZ and is public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air. You or your parents can follow the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, or just about any podcast app. Plus, you can watch News to Me on TV2 on Friday afternoons, catch it on demand, or listen to it just before the 7 o'clock news on Saturday mornings on RNZ National.